Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to Metro.co.uk, the United States is reportedly preparing for a ground invasion of Iran as thousands of American soldiers and Marines arrive in the Persian Gulf region. The Washington Post indicates that the Pentagon is developing plans for weeks of ground operations, which would involve raids by special forces and conventional troops, rather than a full-scale invasion. Despite President Donald Trump's past remarks calling a ground invasion a waste of time and his recent public statements denying troop deployments, an additional 3,500 American troops have already arrived. Iran's Speaker, Mohammad Baghor Ghaliba, responded to these reports by stating the regime is ready to set them on fire and punish regional partners if U.S. troops arrive on the ground. Iran also threatened to strike U.S. and Israeli universities in the Middle East in retaliation for attacks on its own institutions. Public opinion polls suggest strong opposition to a ground operation within Iran, with 62% against such a move. The White House maintains that the Pentagon's preparations are for maximum optionality and do not indicate a final decision by the president. According to Global News, U.S. stock markets concluded their fifth consecutive week of losses, marking the longest losing streak in nearly 4 years, primarily due to lingering uncertainty surrounding the war with Iran. The S&P 500 dropped 1.7% during its worst week since the conflict began, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average shed 793 points, falling more than 10% from its recent record. The Nasdaq Composite also sank 2.1%. This downturn reflects investor concern despite President Donald Trump's repeated extensions of deadlines for Iran regarding oil tanker access through the Strait of Hormuz. Initially, oil prices eased with hopes of a resolution, but they quickly resumed their ascent as fighting persisted in the Middle East and Iran showed no signs of capitulation. Brent crude surged to $105.20 per barrel, with U.S. crude hitting $99.64. Experts at Macquarie warn that prolonged conflict until June could push oil to $200 per barrel, fueling global inflation and impacting consumer spending and industries. Concurrently, U.S. consumer confidence has weakened and major tech firms like Amazon, Meta Platforms, and NVIDIA, along with non-essential consumer businesses, experienced significant declines. In contrast, Canada's main stock index managed a slight gain, supported by its basic materials sector. According to Thai Sounds, Ukrainian drone forces have successfully struck Russia's critical Baltic Sea oil export port of Ust-Luga for the second time in a week on Sunday. The Porter 9th the Deboch Wilth Radio winner. Birdie said that the Ust-Luga port, located southwest of St. Petersburg in the Leningrad region, handles approximately 700,000 barrels of Russian crude oil exports daily and processed 32.9 million metric tons of oil products in 2025. This series of strikes comes as global crude oil prices are surging due to the ongoing Iran war and the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. The Ukrainian National Security Bureau, SBU, stated that the latest attack inflicted severe damage. Ukraine's systemic targeting of Russian oil export infrastructure aims to weaken Russia's war economy, potentially forcing the shutdown of oil wells if exports are long-term disrupted. Ukrainian President Zelensky is also reportedly leveraging the nation's advanced drone technology to secure military cooperation and aid from Persian Gulf states. CBS News reports that 2 additional arrests have been made in connection with an attempted bombing at the Bank of America headquarters in Paris. French Domestic Security Services announced Sunday that these arrests occurred Saturday night following the initial apprehension of a suspect on Saturday morning. The first suspect, identified as a minor from Senegal, reportedly admitted to being recruited via Snapchat to plant a homemade explosive device near the Champs-Élysées in exchange for approximately $692. A second individual seen filming the incident fled when police arrived. France's National Anti-Terrorist Prosecutor's Office has launched an investigation into multiple charges, including attempted arson and the manufacture and transport of explosive devices, all linked to a terrorist enterprise. Paris police and the Domestic Intelligence Service are actively involved in verifying identities and investigating roles. CGTN reports that a quadrilateral meeting of foreign ministers from Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Turkey convened in Pakistan on Sunday to discuss current Middle East tensions. The gathering, chaired by Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Mohammad Saqdar, aimed to explore avenues for de-escalation and promote regional stability. This development highlights intensified diplomatic efforts by Pakistan to facilitate dialogue and reduce tensions across the Middle East. Earlier in the week, Dar confirmed Pakistan's role in relaying messages for indirect talks between the United States and Iran, underscoring the nation's active engagement in regional peacemaking initiatives. The meeting reflects a concerted effort by these key regional players to address pressing security concerns and foster a more stable environment. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.